Straight ahead on CCX News, Hennepin County expands how it tracks severe weather. We'll show you the tools the county will be using more of. Plus, a brain tumor survivor shares her unique story before an event this weekend in Plymouth. And we say congratulations on a job well done. A special retirement goodbye for our friend and colleague, Mike Johnson. CCX News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. When severe weather is coming, Hennepin County wants the public to know about it.
That's why the county is increasing its network of weather stations, and Eric Nelson joins us now with more on that. Eric?
Yeah, Alex and Mike, when the skies get angry and turbulent, Hennepin County wants people to get information at warp speed. The county now has a network of 14 weather stations called Hennepin West Mesonet. The stations are placed 5 miles apart in the West Metro to record measurements. The county calls this ground truth and believes it's necessary because of the dense population in the area.
We don't have the warning time that other people have, other counties where a storm is going to roll through a cornfield or a forest or a grassland. In Hennepin County, if a storm forms and we start getting violent weather, it's impacting people right away. So every minute counts on a warning.
These 30-foot weather towers are like a gigantic Swiss Army knife. They have multiple uses. The stations have a lightning detector, measure wind speed, record air and soil temperatures, and have a rain gauge. The data is sent back to the Hennepin County Emergency Management Team and is deciphered. They
work. They give us immediate up-to-the-minute data. We have meteorologists here that interpret those. They talk to the Weather Service. In between us and the Weather Service, we issue warnings, and they have worked in the past for the big flooding event we had in 2016 in Maple Grove and Brooklyn Park. We were able to see that evolving and the Weather Service issued a flash flood emergency based on that data.
Now, Hennepin County's weather stations are modeled after similar projects in New York and Oklahoma. The county hopes to expand to 30 stations in the future. Alex and Mike?
All right, Eric, thank you. Well, the Better Business Bureau also released tips on what to do should storm damage impact your home. The first thing to do, they say, is to contact your insurance company and don't make any permanent repairs until you get approval from your insurance provider. Another important tip, demand a written contract from anyone you hire. The contract should specify the scope of the work to be done and the material to be used, and never pay in full for repairs in advance, and do not pay cash.
A Robbinsdale nonprofit that helps prevent teen pregnancy will get to keep its federal funding after the Trump administration threatened to pull it. Robbinsdale's Annex Teen Clinic receives $360,000 a year from Hennepin County through a 5-year federal grant. That money funds evidence-based sex education at schools in Brooklyn Center, Plymouth, Robbinsdale, and New Hope. However, the Trump administration announced cuts to the grant funding last summer, favoring abstinence education instead. A Hennepin County judge challenged that decision, and this week a district court judge in Washington, D.C. ruled that the federal government has to continue the funding.
On Saturday, a 5K walk in Plymouth will raise awareness and funds for those with brain tumors.
70-year-old Marvin Fish of Plymouth is walking, and he is a 17-year brain tumor survivor.
I've lost memory. I've lost balance, and I've lost logic, but I'm still playing golf.
The featured speaker at Saturday's walk is also a brain tumor survivor, though she's had a different journey. In many ways, 16-year-old Aubrey King is like any other teenager.
We just had prom like 2 weekends ago. I'm on the Chaska High School softball team.
She also drives, takes part in school musicals, and she enjoys art, especially drawing and painting. But then there's this part of Aubrey's story.
Well, I've had a brain tumor since I have been 3 years old. I've had 5 brain surgeries. I have a brain tumor with no cure.
Aubrey's tumor is inoperable because it's in her brain stem. Previous surgeries have been used to debulk the tumor, manage fluid building up in the brain, and to place a shunt in her brain.
I try not to let it affect my life. I try to live a pretty normal life.
However, she knows monitoring and managing her tumor is part of her life, and she knows it could be worse.
Brain tumors are the #1 killer of children. And there are 129 different types of brain tumors, and that's why research is so expensive.
On Saturday, Aubrey will share her story in Plymouth as the featured speaker at the Twin Cities Brain Tumor Walk. It's geared to raise awareness and money for research.
When people think about giving money to cancer, they don't think brain tumor necessarily. They think of all the other cancers.
Aubrey King is living with a brain tumor, but she's also a teenager looking forward to her senior year and the life ahead of her.
I'm going to be applying to colleges next year and deciding where I'm going to college and what path I'm going to take with my life.
The Twin Cities Brain Tumor Walk takes place on Saturday morning at French Regional Park in Plymouth. You can register on site beginning at 9 a.m. Still ahead, a Maple Grove art exhibit that's purely black and white.
Plus, the local prep baseball program has something to celebrate, and we'll have highlights from their section championship next.
But first, a decent weather weekend, though a rain shower may briefly bring you indoors. We'll be right back. It is a big weekend for local events.
Well, in Golden Valley, thousands are expected for the 3rd annual Golden Valley Pride Festival. It's from noon to 6 on Sunday at Brookview Park. And also on Sunday, Osseo's Nigler Cemetery celebrates a 150-year anniversary from 2 to 4 p.m. That's again on Sunday. And in Maple Grove, the Arbor Lakes Chalk Fest is back. You'll see artists from all around the world creating chalk masterpieces right on the street.
They're going to see 2D works of reproductions of masterpieces and artists' own designs. They're also going to see a lot of 3D chalk art that's going to be kind of blowing people's minds and, you know, kind of give that wow factor that they can pose with. And so it's going to be a lot of fun to see what everybody creates this year.
And you can see the artists at work Saturday and Sunday at Arbor Lakes. The event runs from 10 to 5 each day. And then Sunday night, the power washers come through and it's all history. The Maple Grove Arts Center is putting on a show that's all about black and white.
Neil Pursley has more in today's Weekend Showcase.
From photography to painting, it just gives you a whole different view of art when you see it in black and white. I think you focus on different things.
The Black and White show at the Maple Grove Arts Center is just what you might imagine it to be.
So when you look at a black and white photograph and you look at it really closely, you see different details and more of the tones and the shades of that picture than when it's color and certain things jump out at you.
There are 15 artists represented, and the show is not just about photography and painting.
And we've got a nice selection, mixed media, ranging from charcoal, graphite, acrylics. We have some beading, some oils. There's a little bit of everything, and also all levels.
Finally, the Maple Grove Arts Center is starting a new scholarship.
It's to support the kids in District 279. It's the Jacob Beneke Scholarship Fund, and it is for high schoolers who are, you know, topping their art class and they're going off to study art at college. So we've just started doing that, and we have a GoFundMe page, so if you go to the Maple Grove Arts Center, you'll be able to find more information about it, or you can come into the Arts Center, see this beautiful art, maybe donate a bit of money to some of our young artists.
For a Weekend Showcase from Maple Grove, Neil Pursley, CCX News.
The Black and White show runs through June 28th. Sports is up next, including a big day for local high school runners.
Highlights from day one of the state track and field meet in St. Paul. John Jacobson will have that and more coming up next.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. For 5 straight seasons, the Heritage Christian Academy baseball team advanced to the Section 4A final, only to lose. The Eagles beat Randolph 5-1 behind a 17 strikeout performance from ace pitcher Seth Halverson in Game 1 of the Section final Thursday, setting up Game 2, Northwestern in Roseville, the site. Bottom of the second, Halverson powers a fly ball off the fence to score Dawson Penshorn and Johnny Flynn for a 3-0 Eagles lead. Next up is Taylor Broderson. He tries to call time here. Doesn't get it, but it doesn't matter. He delivers a base hit to score Halverson. The Eagles lead 5-0 after 2 innings. Same score in the 5th when the Rockets rally. Shea Staub lifts a fly ball over the Heritage outfielder to score on Nick Drinkin and A.J. Widener. Then Andrew Wenstrom cracks a shot to center field. And this next one gone for a 2-run homer, cutting the Heritage lead down to 5-4. The Eagles will get one of those runs back in the bottom of the 5th inning. Flynn will poke a hit to right field to score Sam Fredrickson for a 6-4 Heritage lead. And Flynn keeps Randolph in check the rest of the way. He gets the win, and the Eagles win their first section title. 7-5 is the final.
We came from the losers bracket in section play, and we powered through, and everyone stayed positive, and we practiced hard, and we played hard, and I think that's the key for us in state as well. If we get behind, we'll power through. We always will, and I think we'll do a great job in the state tournament.
The state track and field meet, it's a 2-day event. Prelims and a handful of finals, and mostly field events highlight day 1. Cloudy and cool, but the rain holds off at Hamline University for the Class AA prelims. The boys' 3,200-meter race is a final, and Wayzata's Khalid Hussein holds off late conference rival Max Manley of Edina to win. Hussein's time 9 minutes, 7.88 seconds. He's joined as champion for Wayzata by Carissa Travis. Travis has the 12th best throw coming into the meet, but she wins the girls' discus with a best throw of 133 feet 11 inches. Sean Schindler of Maple Grove in the pole vault clears 13 feet 6 inches here. He places 8th. Wayzata's Ben Hadani also clears 13.6. He takes 4th place. The Trojans boys are in the lead after day 1. Madeline Tapper of Wayzata is in the long jump as her best leap on her last try. She goes 18 feet 2.5 inches and places 4th. Trolling speed is the subject of this week's CCX fishing tip. Here's Terry Tuma with more.
A question that has been recently asked is when I'm long lining or trolling crankbaits, even if it's lead core or whatever it may be, is what speed should I troll at? You want to troll at, generally speaking, I'll just give you some of the speed that I usually use, 0.8 to about 2.4 miles per hour. You do not want to troll too fast, then your crankbait will spin out. Too slow, you don't get the correct vibration out of that crankbait. The vibration, by the way, is due to the lip design itself, and of course the body profile. I use a number of different crankbaits to really relate to what those fish want. Always remember, the fish tell you what they want. We cannot tell those fish what they should eat. That does not work. And then also too is usually when you're long lining, is about 125 feet of line is what you'd want to leave out as a starting point, if you will. And then also too is I use a line counter reel and a long rod. The rod, generally speaking, is going to be right around that 8-foot range. It can be a little bit longer, a speck shorter, and with a soft tip. And a great way to really tell them if you're trolling at the correct speeds, watch your rod tip for a vibration. That is a major ingredient. And again, maintain that one speed that's going to really trigger these fish. It's extremely important when you're trolling also to make sure that that crankbait gets into that water column where those fish are, at the strike zone, in other words.
Thanks, Terry. Mike, one final time, and Alex, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Up next, a special retirement goodbye. We bid farewell to a friend and colleague who has played a big role in delivering the daily news. We'll be right back. And finally, we have a goodbye to say here at 12 News. Someone has the nerve to go off and retire. Mike has led our news department for 13 years, but he retires from a 40-year career in news. So now we get to have some fun, Mike. Here's a look back at Mike's career.
CCX News starts right now.
For 13 years, you've watched him here.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Mike Johnson.
Rewind a bit.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mike Johnson.
Keep going back a few years more.
KRIS-TV, Corpus Christi.
And you've got a 40-year career.
On News Center 6 tonight.
In broadcast news.
Just who is going to be affected and why.
Mike's TV career launched in Texas with jobs at the NBC stations in El Paso and later Corpus Christi during the 1980s. In the 90s, the All News channel in St. Paul
Consumers appear to be losing faith in the economy.
Brought Mike back to his home state. He went on to work a few years at the NBC station in Madison, Wisconsin.
12 News' Mike Johnson joins us now live.
But Mike returned to Minnesota in 2005 to work at 12 News.
And if you have to pay a tax to own a car, and we all have to do that.
He started out reporting.
But is reimportation from Canada the answer?
Then quickly moved into his current job as station news director.
Authorities say a Brooklyn Center man
and anchor.
You trust Mike when he's delivering the news.
This is the 7th consecutive day.
Over the last 13 years, Mike's built trust.
Authorities say a Brooklyn Center man
covering city news and government.
Mike has always been really consistently good about getting the story right and reporting the story fair.
He watches our agendas for council meetings, for planning commission meetings, and he follows all of the detail.
Hello everyone, and thanks for joining us for this special presentation of 12 News Local Vote 2014.
It's a serious job, and Mike's been responsible for close to 4,000 newscasts, often doing double duty, operating behind the camera and in front of it.
Thanks for joining us for this special edition of 12 News.
We have had some fun along the way, taking part in dozens of parades and broadcasting live at special events.
Welcome to Tater Days in Brooklyn Park,
where a little good humor.
Can you guess who it is? We call it Anchor Mike.
Shows up.
Look, he's got anchor hair.
He does. This is not going anywhere. And the signature blue shirt, like you always wear.
I never wear a blue shirt.
I think you
Now Mike can retire those signature blue shirts. He and his wife Jackie have 6 grandkids that will keep their hands full. And all we have to say is thank you.
Unreal. It's unreal. Thank you. I don't know where you got that stuff. The hair and a couple of those and the blue shirts, that's just too much. But anyway, I just want to say thanks to the people who work hard here every day to tell good stories from the area, and to people in the community who helped us tell those stories. You saw a couple of them on that piece. And to you for watching, because without you, well, there's no reason for all of this. So that's a goodbye for me. The show goes on.
The show goes
Plus,
on.
these folks will be here again on Monday.
And I know.
Congratulations on a great career in TV and for your leadership here, and enjoy retirement and fun. Have fun.
We're gonna chase a little white ball around the golf course a little bit and that kind of stuff. So.
I know I speak for the station when I say you have been a true professional, Mike. Thank you for your service. We wish you well, and you will be missed.
Thank you.
Final word.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and they will see you back here again starting Monday.